So number one is Geoff Crammond's masterpiece Revs, which came out for the BBC Micro in the early 80s. About this time I was actually going up and down the country every 2 weeks watching my dad race bikes at Brands Hatch, Donington, Alton Park, and this game is actually based on Silverstone. It only had one track in the game, but it was a good one. I don't think this would have been a game I would have picked myself, so I believe this is a game that Dad probably picked someday in the market somewhere. It came with a big box, and I remember playing it twice and never playing it again for about a week because it was so hard. And it was a kind of a bonding thing with me and my dad. We would play this game, you know, but the funny thing is I was playing this game every day, but I'd often come back from school or playing from where I was doing, and I'd often see my dad at the computer trying to get better at it. I think this is probably the time it almost soured my dad on games as well. There I am, 9 years old, pretty much winning the game every time, and he's still struggling to overtake a car or even get around the lap without crashing. Well, the actual game, you know, it was an open-seater, and even though it was only based on Formula 3, not Formula 1, it was one of the first games that really had close-to-close racing, you know, wheel-to-wheel stuff. And it was really well represented on the BBC Micro, which was kind of incredible when you think about it, how limited that system was. Geoff Crammond definitely knew how to get the best out of it. It wasn't really a hard game. All you had to do was adjust the front and rear wing very slightly just to see the differences, but you soon got the hang of it. And maybe having just one track made it better because you could pick it up much easier. But I do remember the size of the manual. It was huge, and that kind of put me off. And really, the game didn't have any modes in it. It only had race or practice, and that was pretty much it. So there was no actually championship, but I used to make my own championship up by writing all the names down in a textbook and just doing it that way. I wish I had that textbooks now, it's quite funny. But anyway, look at this roster of names, it's brilliant. This is probably the best roster of names you'll ever see in a game. Johnny Turbo, what a twat.